Threads.
Threads.
I don't have them.
No, you're in the bureaucracy zone still, so you've got to wait a little bit longer.
Am I missing out on something really, really special?
Good question. Not yet, I don't think. But it is alright, actually. I think it's a little bit refreshing in a way, actually. It's very bare bones right now. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Threads is a new social media platform. It's basically a Twitter clone, right?
Yeah, I heard about another Twitter clone called Blue Sky.
Is that the one by Jack Dorsey?
By Jack,
yeah.
the guy that created Twitter.
Yes.
Which is super weird. Oh, I will sell Twitter and build a new one?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can sell it, then why not? But Threads is there's been quite a few of these alternate platforms in there, and we mentioned last week that every time something happens, everybody goes, "That's it, I'm leaving Twitter. I'm going to Blue Sky. I'm going to Mastodon. I'm going to
Hive."
That was it. But none of them have ever really grown big enough to to sort of make an impact, I don't think.
The beginning of Hive was like really strong, but
on
then
the VP scene.
Yeah, but then they couldn't follow up the amount of growth, so the platform just went like stop.
Yeah, it was kind of the usability that started to kill that, wasn't it? You'd be trying to. It couldn't refresh things, and it's like
because it had both the text from Twitter and the grid from Instagram.
Yeah,
so it was really cool, but at the same time, it was really slow. Like to open a photo, it would take ages. It killed it. Yeah,
and it wasn't a big company or anything, so they didn't have the resources to really push that. Whereas Threads is from Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. I am not a big fan of Meta, I'll be honest. I think I mean, as is the case with a lot of these big companies, but they're probably the worst, or one of the worst, for the data harvesting.
So much so that they are not in the EU because of that, because of the policy laws.
But WhatsApp is available in the EU, and that's part of it.
Yeah, I think there is different terms of service on Threads. Like, you can't delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram account.
Yeah, so I don't think
stuff like that.
I don't think that's a malicious decision. I think that's because they've tried to bring it to market as quickly as possible, and they've clearly just built it on Instagram's back end. So I think the two are interlinked at the minute. Interestingly, if you sign up for Threads, first of all, it just says, "Do you want to sign in with Instagram?" So you go, "Yeah," because I've already got that. So it brings over your username, and you can't have the two differently, I don't think, right now. You can import your profile picture as well.
Yeah.
But then if you go back to Instagram, there's now a number underneath your name, and it's like a little clickable badge.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen those because those aren't available in the EU.
Oh, so it doesn't even show.
It doesn't even show.
Right, okay.
But it's like Threads doesn't even exist in the EU. It's crazy. Like I could. There's a few Portuguese people on Threads right now, and the way that they did it is basically you install a VPN, and then you tell the Google Store or the App Store that you are in another country.
Anywhere else.
But you can change that back for a year.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't get it. Like,
yeah. I'd just hang on for now. I'd just wait and see. I'd imagine it won't be that long. If they're serious about it becoming a big thing, which it kind of has started off pretty rapidly.
They have to now.
I think so. They'd be probably daft not to, because you've been given this opportunity to sort of right. I see it now as a massive user grab. They've put out a bare bones UI. It's built on Instagram, which in itself has some advantages. Actually, we'll come to that in a bit. But it's just the quickest way they could put something out that does what Twitter does, with some slight improvements here, like longer character set, and just to get all the unhappy people over onto one place as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And that number tag that's on Instagram, I think, is done quite cleverly, because it's the number of users that it's currently up to. So it's your user number 80 million whatever. So that means everyone keeps on saying, wow, now look, it's gone over 100 million. I'm 101 million. It keeps it kind of in the news about how fast it's growing.
I think another thing that they do is they send a notification to your followers, to people that are following you, saying this person is now posting on Threads. So you can very quickly, like, you don't start from scratch.
No.
And that's a cool thing.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was going to say is one of the biggest advantages of it being built on Instagram. You can't, because this is a fresh start, like we did last week, was on about starting again. So it's a fresh start in terms of a new platform, but obviously you keep your knowledge and reputation and everything like that. You can't import your followers. So let's say you've got 1,000 followers on Instagram. You can't bring those with you, but you can import the ones that you are following. So that kind of gives you a user base of whose content you're going to see. But the other advantage is if you do have a large group of followers, if they all move over and do that, then they will automatically all refollow you. So it's advantageous to have a big Instagram following if you're moving over, and they then move over as well. So yeah, the ones who haven't moved over, you can, I think, send them an invitation.
Okay, that explains my.
All right.
Because last week I was like getting a ton of notifications about like, do you want to join Threads?
Yeah.
Yes, but I can't.
It's quite nice that you're not there, actually. Someone wrote, I don't see your sidekick anywhere yet.
Really?
Yes.
But yeah, like, what functionalities are missing from it?
What's missing? Right, okay. Yeah. So I'd say the first things that I initially realized were missing is, well, when you first join up, the feed is not relevant to you. It's just trash that I don't want, and it's like big accounts that Facebook thinks you'll be interested in, and even though you've followed all these people, it doesn't show them at all. So you've got to spend a little bit of time finding those people manually, and sort of interact with their content to train the algorithm a little bit for you. Okay. Then it starts to feed some of those to you, but occasionally it just reverts back again. So there's no proper following feed, and that's a big drawback currently. Yeah. The other one is that the search only searches for users. So if you put in virtual photography, you won't find any posts about virtual photography.
Even the hashtags?
There are no hashtags. There are no hashtags, not yet.
On a meta platform, there is no hashtags.
No, considering how many get used on Instagram, it couldn't be any more different. But it's nice. It's nice to not see it.
Yeah, it's super clean.
You know, it's just the comment, and I mean that's kind of how I've started using Twitter anyway. Is minimize the hashtags. A lot of the time using none. So everything's like that right now. But yeah, the search only finds posts. If you search virtual photography, you'll only find people who've got virtual photography in the name. If you search for photo mode, you get a few with photo mode, but then you get things like photography model, and it's found them as part of other words. So it's like, well, okay, it's a pretty rudimentary search right now. And that makes content discovery awful. Like, there's no way to really go and discover content unless you just happen to be shown it. Ironically, unless you put a link to it on Twitter and say, come back and see my post over there. I think that will inevitably change. They've already said.
Yeah. I see this as like a beta, honestly. Like this is very much like the first step into something much bigger.
Yeah.
Can you post videos?
Yeah, up to 5 minutes, I think. It's like double what Twitter offers.
For free?
For free. Everything's for free right now.
That's cool.
How long that stays. Apart from the verification.
Of course.
Because that's the same as it already is. It's using
Instagram.
the Instagram /Meta verification.
That's actually something really interesting because in the EU you can't pay for verification on Instagram. Okay. That's so weird. There is only paid verification in certain places.
So
but
is there
why would you pay? It's the old Twitter thing. You have to apply and submit.
Okay, so it does still
articles.
Have that.
Yeah, you still have that.
To be
it's so crazy. Like you pay for a badge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely against having premium subscriptions of certain features, but it's not verification. The whole point of those verifications was to mark out official accounts and things,
which I see coming back to. Like I see them eventually having like a way to verify celebrities, a way to verify like eventually it will happen.
I don't know. But yeah, none of that. Let me just have a look here because I'm just on. So that's the UI, by the way. It's just what I'm going to see that. It's just a white screen.
Doesn't it have a black mode, a dark mode?
Possibly. I can just probably do it via my phone. I'll just put dark theme on my phone and see if it responds to it. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone dark now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right. So this was GameSpot. They are verified. Doesn't tell me why. They've just got a blue tick.
It must be like they ported over from Instagram.
I think so, yeah. Wow, they've got 108,000 followers already. So 108,000, yeah.
So what about, like, you talked about GameSpot, but are there other brands in there, and are they posting?
Are they posting is a good question. So I've seen PlayStation, Xbox are both on there.
Ooh.
Insomniac, we're straight across Bend.
Aaron.
That, exactly.
he always jumped. Like he was on a hive as Insomniac. So it was the only brand, but still.
Yeah. So Aaron did it. Colin did it. They were both on there straight away. Shauna from Ubisoft is seen already over there.
Of course.
She was actually commenting on, I don't, want to start again building all this following, that's probably one thing that will keep people on the platform that they're most established on. You don't want to separate yourself from that.
Right now, it's the only reason why I still post on Twitter.
Because you've built up the community on there, which has a lot of value to it. Let's not forget that. You don't want to just discard many thousands of followers because it takes a long time to achieve that. But yeah, it is a bit of a tear to come away. However, like I said before, you don't lose the reputation. So if you can sustain both for now and sort of transition some of your following across, say, hey, look, I've got a thing over here, you'll probably be able to build up the second platform a lot quicker than you did the first one anyway. And I don't know, like, currently is there an advantage to being on the other one? Probably not. There's nothing.
I think the advantage to be on Threads right now is getting to ground zero. Like you are there at the beginning. You are building your reputation on that platform with a very, now not very, but a small pool of people. eventually that pool of people will grow up, and the new users will see your account and think, oh, he already has 1,000 followers, maybe I will follow. I think that's the advantage of being there right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that it's grown so quickly has maybe diluted that a little bit, because like you were saying, the small isn't that small, so and especially with the low discoverability, you might be kind of missing out on that growth phase a little bit. I was wondering, and I can kind of imagine it both ways, and I don't know which is true. If you start there now, does this help because the algorithm is going to learn from the accounts that are currently there.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, does this work in your favor or against? Because you could imagine if you manage to get a few successful, relatively successful posts on there now, does that make your account sort of get off to a good start and sort of be boosted initially? Or is it the fact that they're all quite slow right now? You might post and only get 2 interactions, say. Is it actually going to work against you when things grow and you've started off as a slow account, and others might come in when it's faster pace and kick off at 100 and then just overtake?
I wonder if they are pulling that information out of Twitter. Like, your Twitter posts do well, the apps are connected, so let's...
Not from Twitter, from Instagram maybe.
From Instagram, sorry, from Instagram.
Maybe. I don't know. We've no way of knowing that, I guess. I mean, my first post, I just put a hello type thing and just invited people to come and say hi. But I also posted that over on Twitter with no link, but just saying, come over. And that got, I don't know what it was, like 25 comments of people saying hi.
Oh, that's cool.
That was quite good, yeah. But then I just posted some other stuff afterwards, and it doesn't get that, It's like less than 5 interactions total.
I've seen a lot of people posting their threads posts on Insta stories.
Oh, so that's one of the features it's got. Like you have that in it. So let me just go. I think you can do it on any post actually.
For the stories or for your Instagram feed?
For stories.
Okay.
Well, okay, so let me just take you through on a typical post. So at the bottom, you've got home, search, create a new post, notifications, which have got all replies, as in just direct replies to you, mentions, so if you're at the fourth focus somewhere, and then verified. Don't really like that tab, but sure, it's there. Then you've got your own profile. On a post, right, so there's 4 options: like, comment, repost, which is retweet, and then like a little send, like the paper airplane. So the first one that is add to story. So if I press add to story, it then flips over to, it looks like Instagram. I don't actually know what this is. That looks like the Instagram stories, but it's got a threads background to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a layout, yeah.
Yeah. So that looks like a sort of default, a preset for the stories. So, and yeah, I think this is now on Instagram, and I'm just creating a story, which I don't want to do. Discard. And now it's taking me back to threads. Other ones are tweet. Honestly. So I'm going to press it. Yeah, and it's just put a link. It's put the URL straight into a Twitter thing, and it's generated an image from it. And so it's made the little URL card. So that's interesting. The others are copy the link, which, I know you can't view the app, but if I send you a link, you can on the website. It opens on
the browser.
Yeah. So that's how you just share that link and it opens it, but you can't do anything, can you? It'll just...
I can't even, there is a button in there that if I click, they say something like, oh, we haven't reached you yet, but we are working on it. Something like that.
I think ordinarily...
Can you reach me, please? Like, I'm a social media guy, you know this.
Yeah.
This is killing me. This
I
is
bet.
like,
Yeah. Of all the
yeah,
people.
this is like, yeah. I'm so mad. Like, when I read it, when I first heard of Threads, I was super excited.
Yeah.
The very next moment that I read that it's not available in my country, I'm like, fuck this. Like, why?
Yeah. I don't know how long it's going to take, but, you know, you need a unanimous decision.
I give it maybe at most 2 months.
Yeah.
It's something that is like, they want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So they can just
do what it takes to get it there, won't
yeah.
they? You'd imagine anyway. I mean, they're not struggling for customer base right now, but yeah, you'd imagine that they want to get it up. The other thing is maybe it's working in their favour because it's actually made it a bit of a phased rollout.
Yeah.
So
and people in the EU are like, I want it, which means that when it releases, everyone will
dive on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll be overwhelmed. It'd be interesting to see a spike in the users, won't it? So the final option there was just share via, and that's basically just your phone's usual interface of what you do with that link. So you can just, send that to a text message, send it via Bluetooth, whatever. But yeah, there's no analytics or anything, so you can't see how many people have viewed the posts or anything like that. You can see how many replies there've been and how many likes. You can choose to turn off the number of likes.
Oh, that's nice. That's similar to Instagram. I like that.
Yeah. If you turn it off, it says that it's been liked by such a body and others. So it'll pick out whoever was most recent or something like that. I don't think you can ever see the number of likes on anyone else's posts. I think it's only on your own. At least that's all I've seen. Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's something that might migrate from Instagram, because on Instagram, if you have that option on, you don't see it. So they might have migrated that from Instagram. But that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. I can't see any. It says liked by name and others, but there's never a number. And I've turned them on mine and turned them off on mine just to see if it changed anywhere. And it obviously affected my post, but it didn't affect.
That's cool. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, because it takes away that competition for numbers a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, the competition might be, I have more followers than you.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Have you seen many VPs in there?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. I mean, the fact that it's coming, people are bringing their Instagram followers over, obviously helps. And then when you sign up, if they've already brought in their followers, they automatically follow you, even if you joined after them. So that's cool. I joined and I immediately got a few notifications saying you've been followed by. I was like, well, that was fast. Well,
I'm super popular. Look at me.
Yeah, they literally sat waiting for me.
People were just typing the Ford Focus over and over again on the search.
Someone did right. You were the first person I searched. But you're here finally. You were the first one I searched for. I was like,
really? That's cool.
But yeah, so they will automatically get following you when you sign up. So people who I've imported my Instagram followers. So when you do join, because I follow you on Instagram, I will automatically follow you on this when you sign up.
That's cool.
You can disable it,
but when you post more than one picture.
Good question. This is nice. I really like this.
This is nice.
Have you not seen it at all?
At all. I only seen one picture.
Okay, I'm going to send you, because I tested this out for this very purpose, copy link. So, yes, you can post more than one picture, and it does not put them in a grid like Twitter does, for example. Right? I'm just sending you that. So if you click on that, you should be able to open it up on a web browser.
Ooh!
Does it work?
They changed it.
Oh, is it not?
I can't open the... Wait. Let
All
me
right.
try.
Well, I'll try and get it to you afterwards. But basically,
Can you print screen? No.
Well, that wouldn't show the movement, would it?
The movement.
Okay, yeah. Let me just see if I can get it to show on the camera then. That might be the next best option. Right. If I can get this in. So this is my post, and I've put one picture there. Now that's a 4x3 because that's what it decided to do. But if you look, each one of these is individual. So I've got 10 separate pictures there, and it puts them all.
That's similar to Instagram right now.
It's like Instagram when you've opened a picture up, and then you can have 10. You can have 10 on Instagram.
A carousel, yeah.
But they're all square, aren't they?
Not. You can change aspect ratios. 16:9, 1:1, or 4:5.
Right. Okay.
And you can change them while you're posting.
Right. So with those, you can't choose, because I originally put a 16:9 cover on those, and it cropped them all to 4:3. So the maximum width on the carousel seems to be 4:3, but you can have portrait ones as well, and you can have a mixture, and it will automatically do a 4:3 landscape and a portrait next to each other, and whatever you put on, they will work. I don't think you can put images and videos. I haven't actually tried, if I'm honest. Maybe test that later.
That's a function that.
Oh no! Yeah, you can.
If Elon started a month before, that's a function that you wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
Without pay.
That's the dog chasing a little sweeping brush, by the way. Just so yes, you can put a mixture of those. Also, I tested aspect ratios on an individual post. So if you put something super wide like this, so that was 3.28 to 1 aspect size. There's good and bad to this. It was the original is 7,000 by 2134 pixels. It keeps the aspect ratio full, and same if you actually open it. However, there's no rotate. There's no landscape view. So that is the full size of the image, and you can't even properly zoom in because it snaps back.
Yeah, it's the same as Instagram.
And it's 1080 maximum width. So the 7,000 has gone down to 1080 by, what was it? 1080 by 329.
So, what about the resolution?
Look at that one. I don't know if you can see that.
Open it.
There we go.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
It's a Death Stranding, like a landscape, a vertical landscape shot, and it's kept that. So I posted the same one on Twitter, and it crops it down to like just the middle portion of that. The final image when you open it is still there, but the thumbnail, it keeps the full vertical height of that thumbnail.
That's really cool.
So I don't know what it'll do if you post 10 of those. Not tried that yet.
How about the resolution? Are they 4K, 1080?
No, it is 1080 on the longest side. No, sorry, it's 1080 on the width.
Okay.
That's the limiting factor. So it fits your screen, and it will 1080 from left to right, and that's it. So for example, that really wide aspect ratio one I posted was 1080 by 329, whereas the tall one, let me just check it, was 1080 width but 3543 height. So that's quite good in height, but you're limited by the width. You're not. I posted the same ones on Twitter, and they were scaled down, but to 4096 on the longest edge. So the landscape one was 4096 that way, and the vertical one was 4096 tall. So Twitter's got the advantage there. That's a typical Instagram thing, though. I always hated the quality on Instagram.
Yeah.
For scaling down.
Meta in general, like on Facebook, it's the same thing. But another question is,
the compression's bad also.
It's not available on the browser, right? You can't do anything on the browser.
No, not right now anyway. I have no idea why they don't have it.
That's weird. They took a long time to build Instagram to a place where you can use the browser. Like right now, you can't post stories on Instagram via the browser. There's certain things that are only for the app. So I guess that's why. But
yeah, I mean, it even was difficult just to post like one of the carousels, wasn't it? You know, so yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll get there, but nothing right now. And there's certainly no like third party, like TweetDeck, for example. There's nothing like that. Whether there will be, I don't know. No
TweetDeck is now.
Oh, it's blue, isn't it?
It's blue only.
Yeah. Oh my god. One big thing right now, and this stands to change, I'm pretty sure. So no ads currently. Now this could be important. Yeah. Well, will they put ads on? Is there ads on Instagram?
Yeah.
There is.
A lot of.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't go on it. It depends on which way they go. There's no ads on WhatsApp, for example, but they monetize WhatsApp in other ways. You know, they paid many billions for that for a reason.
Yeah, but like on Instagram, you can pay you can create your own ad, like your post.
Yeah, to promote it. That's true. Yeah. So right now, there's no advertising, and that, in theory, means there's no motivation for them to suppress external links, for example. Because one of the reasons why Twitter does suppress links is because it takes you off the platform. Now, without any, I mean, one, it's a tiny sort of interaction anyway, and there's no analytics to. If I post a blog link there, I can't tell how many clicks it got because there's no stats. But it'd be interesting to see, you know, how well links do there, and if those posts still perform well, or if they're kind of suppressed like they are on Twitter.
On Instagram, you can't even post links.
No. So you can on this, and it puts the little card up with the image. It'll do that as well. It's the same as Twitter in that respect. How well they post, I don't know.
I wonder. I really wonder if this will be a spark, like just one and done, or if it's going to be a big fire.
I think it's got...
That will burn down Twitter.
I don't think it will burn down Twitter. I think it's sort of standing by as the lifeboat for when Twitter burns itself down and goes, here we go. But this is the one that is... It may not be the one you want to succeed at, but it's the one that's got the big enough company behind it to do so. You know, I don't really see Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive ever really suddenly taking over all of that Twitter user base. They're just not the big enough infrastructure.
I said it on my stream yesterday. I think in 3 years we will see Threads as not the most popular, but the second most popular. The most popular will be TikTok still. But the second most popular social media platform, because they have they have to play really bad to lose this run, because Musk is handicapping Twitter every single day. It is like every single thing that he announces, it backfires. You just have to look at Twitter and not do that, and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got, it's like free market research, isn't it? You just look at Elon's most latest post and see the responses to it. It's not even just the fact that he's doing sort of things that are all oriented towards blue and things like that. It's his childish approach to everything. You know, like
have you seen the tweet where he said, "Oh, I tried Threads. It's horrible." Just that.
No.
Just that.
Well, there you go. That it got him on it. So that's another successful user transition, isn't it?
It's like, oh, what's thread? You see that? You go, what's threads?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's promotion. Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you even mention threads?
Yeah, I bet they loved it. I mean, I did see a thing, someone going, oh, I think eventually they'll probably merge. I don't see that ever happening. There's no way. Maybe Meta will start to try and integrate it with the other platforms where like you can post on one and they're visible on Facebook and on Instagram.
I would like that. Like post on threads be immediately available on Instagram. And that way people that would solve the problem that we were talking last week about spreading yourself too thin between platforms.
Definitely. That would be a really big advantage, actually. But yeah, the main disadvantage probably right now in terms of the virtual photography space is whether... Pardon?
No discoverability.
No discovery, yeah. Just not getting... visible, you know, but also if you're wanting to be in the space where the studios and the publishers are, a lot of them have moved across. I did see a list somewhere and there was a good list, like I say, PlayStation, Xbox, Bethesda, a couple of PlayStation studios, not very many of the indies and things like that. I don't think I saw that many PR agencies yet. But if it grows and seems to be stable and is supportable enough, I think they will come across. What I'm getting at is that you're going to still want to be where, let's say,
where they are,
where 505 Games and Remedy are when Control 2 comes out. You know? It's as simple as that, isn't it? You're not going to post it to where they aren't going to see it. So visibility in both aspects of that is the downside.
I can see it becoming the everything app that, like, it has reels or whatever they will name it. It has stories, like what we used to have with fleets on Twitter, and then they decided, oh, we don't want this that every single app that has for some reason. I can see it becoming the everything app that you go and... Because they have the resources. They can do that.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Let's really hope.
Yeah. It'll be interesting as well to see, sort of, for example, that the carousel I just showed you, for that to be on the main feed rather than, like on Instagram, it's within you've got to, at least as far as I know, you open a picture first and then you get the carousel. But you don't know, is it visible on the feed now? All right, okay. That must be like brand new.
It's not brand new. It's been there for I can't remember a time that it wasn't there.
No. Well, anyway.
How long has it been?
Ages. I've made them, but only within the post. I've never seen it on the feed. Anyway, I don't care. But things like that encourages people to use the visual medium in more creative ways, doesn't it? And having the vertical height of pictures.
The vertical height is very good. I can see people posting like those memes with a guy with a big sword and you are just scrolling down the sword for a long while.
They'll have to put a limit on it, won't they? Yeah. But I think it just makes it appear more flexible. Whereas there's a problem with Twitter being stuck in that grid all the time and go, how much of this am I going to actually see? But as well, people are kind of taking the early opportunity to be the one who creates themes and stuff.
Of course they are. Yeah, that's just... Can you post a picture as a comment?
Yes, as in reply to... Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't do that on Instagram.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's just the same as Twitter in that respect. There's
that's cool.
GIFs as well, obviously.
Oh, there's GIFs?
There's GIFs. Yeah.
Oh, let me install a VPN right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen a few of the just general, I want to see your red pictures, show me some. And the trend, by the way, of doing it seems to be currently, I know it's early days, of repost with and it's like a quote retweet. So you can choose to just repost, which, by the way, you can't see unless you get the notification. You can't see a list of who's reposted your post.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is. So,
but it's like Instagram.
Yeah. So you can have notifications on. You'll see it say such a body reposted this, but you can't go back and look who else.
Okay.
But there's repost and then there's quote, and the quote is exactly the same as a quoted retweet. So yeah, they're doing repost with your picture of red, so it's like an ongoing chain. Yeah,
okay.
That's how they're working. Not seen
no,
many
I'm hurt.
of the.
I want to do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'm hurt because I want to be there and do that.
Oh well. Yeah. In all honesty, one of the reasons I thought I should definitely sign up for it is because if it grows enough and it behaves in the same way that Twitter does, in that you can turn off replies after a while,
yeah,
I may as well host a thread there for the VP Awards in the same format, and then it's just it's another platform for it to be accessed on. Might give me trouble in keeping track of how many times people have entered and things like that, but I'll certainly consider it anyway. Unless there's an obvious problem by the time we come to that, then I expect to be able to put it on both.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, more platforms only means more entries, so that's a good one. Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. We'll see how long it takes for you to get it, and then.
Is this the end of this thread?
Yeah, time to cut ties.
It's been a while since we made a joke.